Yes. I love wins. I love winning, and that's exactly what this team did tonight. They got the win. And, obviously, was it a pretty win? No. Was it a great win? No. But a win is a win. The Sixers come out on top, 113-107. They beat the Washington Wizards, Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, to go 1-0 on the season. Great way to start the season off. I definitely have some things to say about some players, some good and some bad. But, we all know where, who the player of the game is, obviously. And that is Joel Embiid. Embiid is dominant. He is dominant. And what a way to start off, a hopeful MVP campaign with 29 points, a block, 2 assists, and 14 rebounds. He looked good out there. Real good, especially in the third and fourth quarters. He shot 10 of 17, played 35 minutes, actually the most on the team. He looked good out there. He did. And especially in the second half. He had I think 16 or 17 points in the second half alone. And he was dominant. He was absolutely dominant. He was bullying Robin Lopez and Thomas Bryant all night. There was no answer. There was absolutely no answer for Joel Embiid on the offensive side. There was none. And, he had a great game. Great game. Now, other players in the starting five, not so much. But Embiid did have a great game. He had a great game. And that's all you could say. I'm hoping that this is an MVP caliber season for Joel Embiid, because he needs it. After all the criticism that this guy goes through constantly every year, year after year, it would be great for him to shut up the haters, shut up the critics, and show off what Joel Embiid what we have been waiting to see, and that is a dominant big man in the NBA. And that's what we want. We want Joel Embiid to be dominant down low. We want him to be shooting the mid-ranges that he is so accustomed to. And, if he wants to shoot a couple threes a game, go ahead. He only shot one today. He was 1 for 1. I'd rather him shoot 1 for 1 than shoot 1 for 12. Or something like that, obviously. But, the Sixers as a whole, and especially the starting five, didn't play great together. And that will come, with time. But Danny Green and Tobias Harris weren't good. Danny Green was 1 of 6, 0 for 4 on threes. He did have 2 steals and 2 assists, but he was a minus 27 on the night. Minus 27. 27 points were scored against the Sixers on the it's really bad. Really bad to go minus 27 on the night. And Tobias Harris, for the $180 million man to shoot 3 of 13, 0 for 4 on threes, get 8 rebounds, no assists, no steals, 2 turnovers, 4 fouls, and only 10 points. He only had 10 points. He's making $180 million over the next 5 years. It's definitely a contract I would not mind moving on from, but, he needs to be better while he's here. If he's going to remain a 76er, he needs to be better. And he looked bad in the preseason, and he looked bad tonight. He needs to step it up. He does. Because I know he is, the outspoken leader of this team and everything like that, but he needs to show it on the court. I don't care what you say. I like Tobias as a person, but he needs to show it on the court. He needs to play a better brand of basketball. He does. He needs to. And, for those of you, if there is any people defending Tobias Harris tonight, there's not much to defend. I don't care, what happens, what anybody says. He played downright awful for a $180 million man. And I'm usually one of the first people to actually stick up for Tobias Harris. Because I like the guy. I really do. But, he could be a great leader, off the court, but he needs to show it on the court as well for getting paid that much. And that is my problem. And that's what everybody's problem is. I think people like Tobias Harris, but his contract is downright awful. for a player to put up 10 points. Can't happen. Cannot happen. Danny Green is an exception. I mean, he's an old player, he's a veteran, and he's on his last year of his contract. But he also is coming off 2 championships. So, but as for the bench, 2 guys that I loved coming off the bench together, and they came out in a partner pair. Shake Milton and Furkan Korkmaz. Shake was a plus 33 on the night with 19 points, 3 assists, 3 steals, and 1 rebound. 6 of 11 shooting, 2 for 4 on threes, and 5 of 7 from the free throw line, with also 2 clutch free throws to kind of put the game out of reach. He played great. Shake needs to play. He played 30 minutes tonight, and that is a perfect amount of minutes that he should get. Because with Danny Green struggling the way that he did, when you put out Matisse Thybulle, or when you put out Shake Milton, and he's putting up 19 points a game, that is 6th Man of the Year worthy. Now, it's going to obviously be probably down to, I would say, him, Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, Dennis Schroeder, and Karis LeVert. I think those are probably the top 5 best 6 men in the NBA. I personally believe that. But I think the 2 Lakers cancel each other out. So if you put it like that, Shake Milton's a top 3 6 man in the NBA. And who knows? He could win one. He could win. He could definitely win. I could definitely see Shake Milton winning 6th Man of the Year this year. And that would not surprise me at all. But Furkan as well. 3 of 6 from 3, 4 of 9 from the field. Plus 14, 11 points. He as well had a steal. He's looking a lot better on defense than he has before. Maxey looks solid out there. 6 points in his NBA debut. 2 assists. 3 of 6 on the field from the field. He played 11 minutes. Mike Scott played 17 minutes. I didn't even know that. 3 points, but he was a plus 13 on the day. 2 rebounds. 1 of 3 shooting from 3-point land. Dwight Howard, 2 for 2 from the field. Plus 8, 4 points in 13 minutes. With 10 rebounds, also, though. 3 offensive. I like what Dwight Howard brings to the team. He actually did stick up for Ben Simmons when he got hacked by Davis Bertans. Him and Tobias Harris stuck up for Ben, and I do like that. I like that this team is playing together, as a family more than just as teammates, kind of like they were last year. I felt like they were more teammates last year than actual, family, and I think that's a huge part of what. I think that's how the Eagles won in 2017. They played as a family, and that's why they're struggling this year. But, that's obviously a different topic. But let's get into talking about Ben Simmons. The kid, he had 16 points, 3 blocks, 2 steals, 7 assists, and 9 rebounds, 7 of 12 shooting. He did struggle from the line, though, 2 of 6 from the line. He opened up the game with a fadeaway jump shot that rimmed out. But, what Ben Simmons is going to give you, these are the type of nights that he's going to give you. I'm hoping for a little bit more scoring, especially if Tobias Harris is taking a step back from the scoring. But, Shake Milton and Furkan definitely picked up where the slack was left off in Ben's scoring. But I do think that he still played a very good game. Just as well as Embiid and Shake. I think Embiid played the best. I think Shake played the second best, and then Simmons was probably third. But Simmons' block on Thomas Bryant was crazy. I mean, if he can do that, he's going to win the Defensive Player of the Year in a landslide, and I truly do believe that. Seth Curry also, 4 for 4 from the line, 4 of 8 from the field. He was 1 of 5 from 3, though. Need him to be better there. 13 points. 4 assists, 2 steals. The Sixers were really dominant on the steal department with 11. We also had 8 blocks. We looked solid out there defensively. We looked a little troublesome at times, especially with that starting unit out there to start the third quarter. We were like 0 of 11 shooting to start the third, but it was a good win. It was a solid win. I wouldn't say good, but it was a solid win to open up the season. We beat a very solid team in the Wizards. Obviously with Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. They were missing Roy Hachimura, But Bertans, he was lighting it up. 4 of 6 from 3, 14 points. Westbrook had a 21-point triple-double with 15 assists and 11 rebounds. Bradley Beal had 31 points, but he did have 6 turnovers, and so did Westbrook. So, I mean, that's where a lot of their turnovers did come from. Thomas Bryant was getting absolutely bullied in the paint. 0 for 3 on 3, 5 from 13 from the field. He had 5 personal fouls, 5 rebounds. He just wasn't that good. But, again, the Sixers win 113-107. For those of you that bet, I'm pretty sure it was a -7 spread. So if you did take that, obviously you lost. If you took the Sixers, you lost. But, I didn't bet it, so it doesn't matter to me. But the Sixers play the Knicks on Saturday, the day after Christmas. Still kind of mad that we aren't playing on Christmas. I definitely think we deserve one. But, that's whatever. That's the NBA's decision. But we do play Saturday and Sunday against the New York Knicks and the Cleveland Cavaliers. I expect W's in both of those games. This team is a lot better than those two franchises, and I expect a lot from this team. I do. Doc Rivers is a great coach. That play that he drew up to get Ben that dunk, Brett Brown does not do that. He doesn't. And that is the difference between a coach of Doc Rivers' stature and Brett Brown's. That is the difference right there. That is a game-winning dunk. That is a game-sealing dunk. Brett Brown does not draw up that play. He doesn't. That is the difference. That is what I have expressed for the last 7 years. I'll say 3, though. That is what we have been expressing as Sixers fans. That he is not a good coach. And you saw what happened with a good coach. We got the win. Brett Brown does not win this game. He doesn't. But I digress. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Sixers get the W. 113-107. Beating the Washington Wizards. We play Saturday, 7:30 against the New York Knicks. Thank you all so much for watching, tuning into the 4for4 Philly Fan podcast, I guess you could say. But if you are new to the channel, like, comment, and subscribe. If you are new, thank you all so much for watching. Go Sixers. And I am out. Peace.